Hi everybody, this is CDOD number 8, and I had a video almost done, and my new phone, it doesn't hold very much video stuff at all. It said that it was full, so it cut me off right in the middle, so I'm going to try to do this again. Hopefully it'll be better. And I was rambling first, so let me just get to what's in the drink, so if you want to know and then you don't want to hear the rest, you can leave. This is, basically I've been drawn to the second chakra stuff, so it has kind of, the lower chakra energies. I have green beans in the bottom, kale, some red chard, a quarter of an apple, 8 mango chunks, 6 pineapple chunks, a half a banana, and then a tablespoon of peanut butter for my fat. No spirulina today, no glutamine, just this, and then I'm going to put in 2 scoops of my protein powder. And the mangoes go with the second chakra. The apple, I would consider that probably first chakra. Your pineapple, third. So it's kind of, and then you have, of course, the greens is your fourth. But so kind of like the CDOD number 7, kind of the lower chakras. Yesterday after that drink, I did make one later at nighttime that had, of course, the greens, and then I had more of the cooler colors. I had blueberries and blackberries, and I forget. I think I used something else. I don't remember what it was, but more of the cooler colors, which are up here. The warmer colors are down here. Cooler colors are up here. Remember, the colors of the rainbows. So anyway, that's going to be my drink for today. And what I had been talking about was I've been drawn to the second chakra lately, and I was looking at the foods. If you want to know some of the foods for the chakras, some of the fruits are apricots, blood oranges, cantaloupes, kumquats, mandarins, mangoes, nectarines, oranges, papayas, passion fruit, peaches, tangerines, persimmons. Vegetables would be carrots, orange bell peppers, pumpkin, sweet potatoes, and yams. And the animal products would be salmon. And they're all, they all have kind of like an orange tone, which is the color of the second chakra, the sacral chakra. What I've been talking about with my clients, especially today, that one keeps coming up. So it has to do with flow. The element is water, and water you can't grab a hold of. You can't try to control it, because it flows. It flows, it would flow through your hand. It flows. You can't contain it, so you have to go with it. When I'm training somebody and their movement is jerky and it's not flowing, they're just kind of jerking it or going through a motion, usually it's a sign that they're not all the way in their body down here. Usually it's a sign that they're in their mind. They're up here and they're not breathing deep. Their breath is more shallow because they're in their minds. So they're breathing more off the top of their lungs and not down deep from the diaphragm. So when their movement's like that, they're not in their body, they're not flowing. Their breath is cut off. Their air is cut off. So when you get in your body and you get when you're in the present, when you're in your body, you're in the present. When you're in your body and centered, you're here now. You can put so much more into your workout. The movement flows. Everything flows. You have more power and more strength to push through. You have more peace, which kind of sounds weird. But if you start from a peaceful state, a flowing state, you can increase the intensity as you go on. But if you try to start from that state, a lot of times you end up resisting the motion and holding your breath and not being able to push as far as you normally could. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but you want to flow. The second chakra deals with flow, dreams, joy, pleasure, desires, creativity. Sometimes that's shut down because we're too serious and not having enough fun. Fun and pleasure helps to create that flow, gets the juices flowing. So in your workout, sometimes it's good to just kind of focus on, if you go lighter and feel that flow of it, it gets you connected more. That's also the chakra of duality. That's when duality meets. So that's like, deals with like your connection with other people. It can also deal with your connection with the weight. You know, you have some people will go in and like they overpower the weight and they just fling it around. Some people resist the weight and, oh, I can't do this. This is hard. They're resisting it. It's like that closes you down and you can't breathe. So if you feel the weight, you know, like say, I don't want to lose my pages here of this, but we'll just say this. This is kind of light. It doesn't have anything in it. But if I'm going to lift this, you know, I can overpower it. I'm not going to get a whole lot out of this, you know, but if I take it and feel it, and actually I'm doing this from within inside my arm, you know, I'm flexing the muscle and feeling this and controlling it, letting it come to me. I'm letting it come to my hand, and then I'm letting it down and letting it come back up. And you want to flow with it. You want to be mindful of what you're doing and do whatever body part you're training. Be purposeful in your movement and your mind. Once you get going and you go to a heavier weight, you can make it more intense. And with a heavier weight, you have to be more intense, and you have to have a quicker mind frame. Everything has to be quicker, but you still have to keep that flow and that breath. And I don't know if that sounds weird or not, but it's interesting when you're in the gym, and like with a couple of my clients today, you can take that same mind frame that you learn in the gym and apply it to your life outside. Because when you're in your body and you have that flow and that peace, whenever a stress comes along in your life, it's easier to go with it and to keep breathing. That's kind of what the weights can teach you, is you know, everything. When you start it with the weight, it starts off feeling easy, so you want to go with what it feels like. As you get into the set, there starts to become more physical stress, so you know, you learn how to deal with that stress and not move away from it or close down your breath. You need to keep breathing. So you can apply those things to outside of the gym too, and it helps to keep you centered. The better you can stay centered outside of the gym too, I think we stay healthier. We don't get caught up in stress and, you know, put extra stress on our hearts or other organs when we're more at peace and happier. And this is totally different from the first video that I made. I don't even know how I got started talking on this, but I can just ramble sometimes. But I did want to share. I shared some of the foods of the second chakra. But the reason, that's another thing, the reason I was drawn, or have been drawn to the second chakra lately, is hips. That's what I wanted to look at. Hips. The anatomy associated with the second chakra. Bladder, hips, kidneys, large intestines, colon, ovaries, and uterus. Gosh, this one's getting pretty long too. Anyway, my hips were hurting. And so I kind of started to look at this. And what was happening was your hips symbolize moving forward in your life. And I was resisting. I was resisting and wasn't flowing with moving forward because, like I said, I think in one of my recent videos, I was trying to hold on to the competition part of this. And although I like to compete and I can compete, it's just not where I am in my life right now. And like I said, I think I'm probably done with competing. And what I had to start to look at is like, where am I now? And I've combined some of the stuff in my training, my clients, for a long time, so I want to start to share that stuff with you because my hips hurting was a sign of me not moving forward into new areas or an extended part of myself. I was trained to stay where I was and make my channel about that, and that's just not where I am. And there was a part of me that was kind of sad about that because when I was actually into bodybuilding big time, I didn't know anything about, you know, the computer and stuff. I think that, I mean, in my later years of, you know, my last years of competing, I think all that stuff was kind of new. I don't even know. I mean, I don't think Facebook has been around very long, or YouTube. I don't know. I didn't know much about computers until 1996. I think I started to learn a little bit about them, which was the year that I won the USA and got my pro card, and I did one pro show after that and then was done. So there was a part of me that was kind of sad and having the feeling of it's not fair. It's not fair. I know there's a lot of fitness channels out there and stuff, and it's like, you know, so I kept trying to compete again so I would have something interesting to talk about or watch. But you know, my hips were hurting because I was trying to hold on and not move forward. So this is moving forward and expressing or well, it's my expression. So this is my throat chakra. This is me expressing where I am now in my life and what I teach with my clients and stuff. And it's about awareness and energy, your mind frame. So it's more than just going through emotion or just going to the gym to lift weights. It's being more aware of your body and being more mindful when you do what you do, and learning and growing in a different sense. I'm growing in a different sense now. My goal before was to grow to be bigger physically, and now I'm shrunk down and I'm happy with it. I'm happy with being smaller, and I'm growing in other ways. I'm teaching other things other than just the fitness, and the fitness is important, and it's a start to get in touch with your body, and then you can always learn. You can always learn and grow and take it deeper. Take it deeper than you were before. You know, learn more about your training and where you are when you're training, or like if a body part hurts, what does that symbolize? So I guess it would be more just more energy stuff, combining the energy and more feel and awareness to the physical part of it, which actually gives you a better mind-body connection. And gosh, we're at 15 minutes already. So that's where I'm at now. And actually, since I've taken that step, and I didn't know how you guys were going to take it, and I guess you guys are okay with it so far. Some of you are saying that you like it, and yay! I know it's different, it's out there, especially, you know, in the fitness. Sometimes, you know, it's kind of like, huh, what are you talking about? I know the clients, a couple that I've had for 17 years I've been training, they used to think I was out there. Now they're like, wow, it makes sense. It makes a difference. And it does when you start to pay attention to it. But since I've like taken that step forward and like put it out there, my hips are better. They're not tight. They don't hurt. Again, I think a lot of it is because I'm getting more fruits and vegetables, but I feel like I'm moving forward again. And actually my weight dropped again because there was a little bit of resistance about, I don't know, a week or two ago, and it went up, and now it's like I feel, you know, there is something to that too. If you're trying to lose weight and you can't, or you're having a hard time, it could be because you're stuck. You're stuck and you're holding on, and you're not wanting to move forward. Sometimes we hold on to extra weight. Sometimes we hold on to extra weight to protect ourselves. Sometimes it's because we're waiting to do something. There's something that we want to do, which actually, again, that's the second chakra. We have a desire that we've always wanted to do, but we're too afraid to try it. So we wait. And when we wait, we put on weight. So sometimes, and I've had the desire to share this kind of stuff for a long time, but I only share to certain clients that are open to it. But now I'm just really putting it out there, and that's just me. That's me being able to express myself and, you know, put that out there. And it's like when you follow what's in your heart and your desires, and you're just happier. You feel happier. And that second chakra is happiness. It's joy and pleasure. So, you know, sometimes you just got to put yourself out there and do that kind of stuff. I was 101.8 today, and last week I had gotten to that point on Sunday, and then I had a treat day, and it went up about a pound, and so this week it's come down. So now I'm 101.8 on Friday. I don't know if I'll have a treat tonight or not, or this weekend probably. My treats aren't usually real super big because I'm not trying to go to extremes. If I do want something during the week, I do have a little bit, and that kind of keeps me under control, and I don't go from one extreme to the next. So I'm trying to learn balance and flow. Trying to learn how to flow with things and not be so strict and rigid to the point to where then I want to go to the other extreme when I'm done. So again, I think that has a lot to do with the second chakra, is learning how to flow with things. And if you have something, you're okay with it. Because I was strict for so many years getting ready for shows, and then I'd kind of go the opposite way. But I got to a point to where I maintained a healthy balance to a certain degree after shows and stayed a pretty good off-season weight. But it's harder to do when you don't have that contest to get ready for, when it's a lifestyle and you're doing it because it's healthy for you and it makes you feel better. I feel a lot better. I feel lighter. I feel just happier. I feel like I'm flowing more. And there were some other things that I wanted to see. Here we go. Passion, play, and pleasure. Much of our juiciness from living life oozes from our dancing sacral Sacral Chakra. That's almost a tongue twister. Let's see. It holds the sheer pleasure for living and everything that life contains. It is the fun factor for our being. Without it, we become stifled, withered, and desiccated. Our life force evaporates, which that's true. When you're working out, if you're not in your body and like connected to that and flowing, because that's kind of your power too. And if you're not connected to that, you do lose your life force. It's harder to push into a set. You're disconnected, and it just makes it all harder. But if you get all the way in your body and you get centered and you're in the present and you're here, you get so much more out of your workout. You enjoy your workout more too. You get into your breathing and being purposeful and mindful, and it actually makes it more of a pleasure than something that you like dread. If you go to the gym and you dread it, and during your workout you're like dreading it in your mind someplace else, it actually makes it hurt more and it makes it harder. But I could probably like look through here and just keep chatting away about this. Seemed like there was something else. And I think I mentioned this in one of my last videos too. Do you guys like this kind of stuff? Do you like me to? And I don't think I've ever had a book, maybe like 1 or 2 books that I've like sat and read from cover to cover. I have a very hard time doing that. Usually it's like when I go to work and I talk to my clients and I talk about this kind of stuff. If I come home, it's like I might be thinking of a certain book that I have, and I like open up to a page and I read, and it's like, oh, that's what I needed to know. Now it makes sense what just happened at the gym, or the feeling that I was having, or whatever. See, I'm like getting drawn in right now. That's how I read my books. I don't read to necessarily learn. I like live my life, and then when I'm drawn to something, I read, and then I find an answer. And then I'm like, oh wow, so then I learn more, and then I can use that to apply it to what I already know, and it just kind of evolves, and you learn and grow that way. At least that's how I work anyway. Am I still rambling too much? I don't know. I just want to keep talking to you guys because you're so fun. I have fun talking. And I know this is getting really long. It's like 22 minutes now. So anyway, you got your drink early on. That was CDOD number 8. And I'm going to go put my protein powder in and have my drink. So have a good day. Bye.